Hello and welcome to Rose Menagerie. So I feel like it's been a very long time since I've been on here sharing something from the homeschool planning side of it. So I'm really excited about our video today. I'm going to be walking y'all through how I have planned our second term's reading lessons. So if that's interesting to you, be sure to stay tuned. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Crystal and I am currently homeschooling our 2 5-year-old kindergarten boys this year at home. It's been a lot of fun. Prior to homeschooling, I basically stayed home with them since they were born, but I taught in the classroom for 6 years, 5 of which were in 1st grade and 1 was in 3rd grade. And I have my master's in curriculum and instruction. So basically planning all of this and doing the reading components, it's just been so great. And I'm loving every single bit of it. So today, my intention is to walk you through how I planned this particular lesson. And my intention is that I will have this little organizer that I've used available for you guys to be able to download. You can just see it in the description. But essentially what I've done, I've made this little organizer. Whoops, sorry y'all. So it's an organizer where you can just keep track of what text it is you're trying to accomplish, and then what dates you want to use it for. And then there's a section for Monday all the way through Friday. And then I have a place for you to write your activity. If you want to get super into it and write down some of the skills you're focusing on, and then the materials as well. And I designed it to where the back page would be for your notes, but I love printing 2 to a page, and so that's what I've done. I did a two pages on one printout, and so this page is smaller over here, but then I can write notes over here very easily. So that's what I've done. And then actually later this week, I'm going to input this stuff into my weekly organizer so I can print it off and it'll be on this back side. So that's kind of my methodology, my OCD-ness, if you will. But I want to walk through how I did this because, in all honesty, this particular term was overwhelming to me when I was first thinking about doing what we're doing. Which I probably should have started with this. Essentially, why I'm using these particular books, we are focusing on Walter Wick. He is I can't remember the actual term of what you would call him, but he's an illustrator, but he takes photos. If you've ever experienced the I Spy books, or Can You See What I Can, or what is it? I can't remember the wording of it. Can You See What I See? He is the man behind all of that. So he's the one taking the photos. He has the team of people that create the things. And I guess, honestly, I haven't looked a whole lot into him yet. That's part of what I want to do more so closer to. I want to say he has retired. He does have a channel on YouTube that I saw as well from 6 years ago. So anyway, there's information out there on him. He's a really interesting person. Essentially, he takes pictures and he of all kinds of stuff, and then like there's a seek and find component. So like, can you find the thumbtacks? Can you find the domino? Like that kind of thing. Here, let me give you an example here. Like in this book, this one's cool. There's the picture, and then this actually pops up, and then do that. And then it has a list of the things for you to find, and it's like to a rhyme as you're reading it. So anyway, so that's when I decided to use this particular illustrator / author because I'm basing it off of the storybook Garden that is in Abilene, Texas. The boys and we've gone with my mom and her husband several times. The boys have gone more than me actually, but every year the city of Abilene puts on a festival for children's literature. And each year they invite a new illustrator to come, and they're kind of like showcased for the entire weekend. And they release a sculpture to put in their storybook garden. And so what I did was I took the first, let's see, I think 6 illustrators that they focused on, and that's who we're going to be focusing on throughout the year. So currently we're focusing on David Shannon, which I'm so bummed that I missed him coming to Abilene, because that would have been so much fun. I love David Shannon. And then now we're doing Walter Wick. So this is our second term, will be Walter Wick. So that's where I got this from. And typically when I've taught reading, I've taught, you know, I love teaching from a mentor text like this, where basically you're allowing the book to kind of be the teacher along with the imagination of the children. But with this being more of like a seek and find, I was really apprehensive about how to do it, because I was like, how am I going to find, like, is there going to be opportunities to do predictions or character analysis or sequencing, like just the things that from a primary age you try to focus on. And I was pleasantly surprised to really enjoy planning this, because I really found some really interesting things. So I'm going to walk you through, hopefully rather quickly. Hoping this video is not too long, but I apologize if I get a little wordy. So this is the first book that we're going to do for week 1, and this term for us is only 4 weeks long. So so I do terms to kind of break it up for myself. This current term is 5 weeks long, and then we'll take a whole week off from school, and then we'll start our second term, which will only be 4 weeks. And then we'll take another break at the end of that 4 weeks, and then we'll continue with that pattern. So 5, a break, 4, a break, all the way through the end of the year. So this is only a 4-week term, which was intentional because, like I said, I was apprehensive about planning for this particular illustrator. But like I said, super excited and glad to be doing it. This is the first book. It's called Hey Seymour, and it's a search and find fold-out adventure. And you follow this little guy Seymour as he goes along and does various things. The drawback of this particular illustrator is that his books, I believe, are out of print, so they're very hard to find. This one I just borrowed from the library, and the other 2 I was able to snag on thrift books, because I couldn't find them anywhere that the cost was efficient, because I want to say that they're out of print. So keep that in mind. That is the one hard thing about doing this particular study that I've chosen to do, is a lot of the illustrators, their things just aren't being printed anymore, so it's kind of hard to find their stuff. Anyway, here we go. Let's focus back here. So Hey Seymour, and like I said, he goes through on these adventures. You already saw one little picture, but like, so here it's him and his pup, and so you have these like amazing pictures, and then there's a little prose over here, and they're like written like, this is written like poems, so they have a little title, and then it tells you what all to find. Hey Seymour, I see you, I see your dog buttons too, I see a clock, a cowboy hat, whiskers on a yellow cat. So you have that rhyming, and then as you're reading it, the kids are finding the things in the pictures, which I don't know about your kids, but my boys love that. So the first time we'll read this, we're gonna read it. So the way I broke it down was that on Monday, so I have it written that we do a 4-day week. So on Monday, we will read through this, and it'll probably take us a while. I am planning on it taking a long time. We might even start reading it the weekend before, or take it with us on our trip we have planned for the week before. I don't know, we'll see. But on Monday, we are going to do a Seymour characterization. So Seymour is this guy right here. And I'm planning on having paper shapes pre-cut, potentially using my Cricut, I don't know, of his little body parts. And they will be able to recreate him in their journal just by gluing down the shapes. And then we will talk about what we like, how Seymour behaves, like what are some ways we could describe Seymour, and just basically kind of write those words in their journals. So that'll be really potentially simple, but a characterization. And then on Tuesday, in this book, there is a page where Seymour, I'm about to have some more kids come in here in a minute. Just a second. Emotions are hard. Okay, so on day 2, there's a point in the story, where Seymour rides in a hot air balloon that he has made. So what we're going to do is do a kind of like a prediction of how they think hot air balloons work, and I'll probably let them like design one in their journal. And then we're actually going to create a hot air balloon out of candles, aluminum foil, and like a thin plastic bag. It's a pin that I found on Pinterest, which I will attempt to also include those down below in the description. I didn't have a whole lot this time, but I will attempt to put them in there. So that'll be Tuesday, and then I put a little note on here to take a picture of it. That's my little picture note, and so that way I know that I want to include that in their journal. Okay, and then on Wednesday, we're going to create this. I don't know how this is going to work, y'all. I'm excited, but also terrified of this project. But they're going to design their own person. So like, hey, Liam, hey, Connor. They may decide to give them different names if they wanted to, but they're going to design their own little guy. So I'll give them beads and pipe cleaners, straws. I'm not even sure what else yet. And they're just going to make their own little person. And then we're going to list out some things that they could go and do, or places they could visit. But essentially it's just going to be kind of like this crafting, designing type day. And I also have a little picture thing on there to help me remember to put a picture in their journal. And then on Thursday, oh, I forgot to mention, we'll read over this book throughout the week. And since this book is really long, we may not read all of it every day, but we will read through it in various ways throughout the weeks. And then on Thursday I have, so my boys love taking pictures. They actually have their little cameras. They don't have the greatest quality of photo, so I think I'm going to actually let them practice with those little cameras and then use my phone to take the actual picture. But we are going to attempt, they're going to kind of, so let me find an example here. So they're going to attempt to do something like this with their little buddy that they'll make on Wednesday, their little hey Liam, hey Connor, or whatever they call them. And they're gonna, with their toys and things around the house, they're going to make a kind of scene like this and then include their little person in it and take a picture. And we're going to work on writing words to go with it, or I might even just have them pinpoint things that they want to include for people to find. And essentially it's going to be a planning component. So in their journals, we'll draw a quadrant. And so on this first week, they will work on one of them. We'll take the picture, and then in their journal, we'll write down some notes that they want to remember. Maybe there's certain toys they want people to find, or different things like that. This is all kind of loosey, and like I said, I don't know how it's going to work out. My blood pressure may be roaring this term, but we'll see. And then I found, like I said, Walter Wick has a channel on YouTube, so we're going to watch several of his videos and kind of see how he does what he does to kind of set the stage, because this is like a big task. I'm really excited to see what they come up with, but we're going to do this every Thursday for this term. So that's going to be a continual ongoing project throughout the term. And then I also put on here that sometime this week I want to visit our local, we have this like art block downtown, and just kind of look at it and experience it and talk about the different types of art, because this, like photographing like this, may not be considered an art by some, but it truly is. It's amazing what he does with light. And actually he has these really cool books about water and light that I want to get for the boys, maybe for Christmas or maybe when they're older, because that'd be a little bit over their head as far as like understanding them. But he like takes these beautiful photos and explains like how water functions, and then how does light work. And anyway, that's a sidebar, but that's that. So that is week 1, and that book I got from the library. Okay, week 2, we're going to continue with Seymour. And so I chose Seymour because the sculpture in Abilene is of Seymour, so that's why we're really staying along with the Seymour books. These books are out of print, so hopefully you can find them. These were, I found them on thrift books, so anyway, good luck with that if you want to try to find them. This one's called Can you see what I see? Seymour and the juice box boat. So in this story, he goes throughout, and it's the same type of thing. There's like kind of hidden picture idea, hidden pictures. So there's the scene, and there's a little prose that you read, and you try to find the different things and find out where Seymour is going. So what we're doing for Monday of this week is we're gonna read through a certain page in which we will stop. And in their journal, they're going to make a prediction of what Seymour is doing with all the things that he's collecting. And then once they do their prediction, then we'll actually finish the story and talk about it. On Tuesday, we're going to read through the story again, and I'm going to just in Word make up simple little like strips of paper that will have the events that happen in the story for them to be able to cut out and then organize into order. So like what happened first, what happened next, that type of thing. It's literally just going to be a sequencing activity of events in the story. Very simple and straightforward. And then on Wednesday, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much fun. So my overarching fun thing for the week is that we're going to get orange juice boxes to have with breakfast. We don't normally drink orange juice or milk. Like, we're pretty lame and just do water. So I don't even know if they're even gonna like these, but I saw that our Walmart has these little cartons of orange juice. So we're gonna get those for the week and drink them with our breakfast. And then at the end of the week, or on that Wednesday, we're going to design and create a little boat, just like Seymour does. And I found a pin for this as well. I mean, you can kind of look at the picture in the book and kind of figure it out for yourself too, but I did a pin so I can have multiple modalities of how to make this work. And I'm hoping that we can go out to our family's house that weekend sometime to be able to see, because they live on a creek, to see if they float and that kind of stuff. We might even bring extra ones for the cousins to make some too. I don't know. We'll see what life looks like at that point. And then on Thursday, once again, we will do another scene for the boys to photograph, and then write out the things they want to make sure that are included in our book that we'll make at the end. So that's week 2. Week 3, we have Seymour again, and this time he's making new friends. So he goes to the story and he ends up creating these little guys to play with. So on day 1, we are going to talk about qualities of a good friend, and then in their journal they're going to write I'm a good friend when, and they're going to share with their words what makes them a good friend, like what are things that they do to be a good friend. And then on Tuesday we're going to create, similar to week 1, but we're going to create friends for our little guys to be able to have. And then on Wednesday, so there's this really cute page in here where Seymour gets into the paint and he makes all these footprints. And like right here too, but he's made little footprints. And so like recognizing shapes and things is really important for little kids. So I think what we're gonna do is just a fun art activity, but I'm gonna have them pick a handful of toys, probably some of their Pokemon, probably their little Matchbox cars, things that'll be easy to clean. And we're gonna get some paint, and I'm gonna give them some construction paper, and they're going to, if it's like the cars, they're gonna run the car through the paint and then run it on their paper and make lines with it or do designs, stamp their little Pokemon feet and stamp them on their paper, and just kind of go crazy and have fun creating footprint art. So something fun to do. Then on Thursday we will do another picture, and then writing in their journal the notes to make the book the following week. And I didn't actually do an overarching activity for that week, so I'll have to come back and do that one. And then finally on week 4, I don't have a particular book picked out. Like I said, these books are out of print and very hard to find, but our library has a couple of his Can You See What I See books, and so I figure I just let the boys go and pick out a couple of them I don't remember. There weren't very many. I want to say there's only 2. So we'll see. But the goal is they'll pick one out and then we'll just read it throughout the week. And on Monday, we're just going to do a simple, like, what is your favorite part of this book and why? And probably have them draw some pictures, that type of thing. Just a simple journal thing. And then on Tuesday, they're going to do their final photograph of things around the house made into a scene. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to continue with the writing process, and we're going to work on editing and creating a book with their pictures and their words so that we can hopefully publish it. And by publish it, like, I haven't looked at pricing, but I'll just either go to Walgreens or Shutterfly or something and just do a simple little book with their pictures and their words. And once we're able to do that, my goal, my overarching goal, is that we'll plan for a book showcase type of a thing. And so we'll invite friends and family over and have like light refreshments, and then the boys will basically do like how a author does, and they will share their work with their friends and family and kind of share with them how they made the pictures, that kind of thing. Just have a fun night of and encouraging others to do the same thing. So I think that's it. That's what I came up with anyway. We'll see how it actually works when we do the term, but at this point, I'm really excited about it and looking forward to how it works out and just seeing their creativity flow and their imaginations run wild, because they're gonna love doing these picture things especially. Hopefully this was encouraging to you. If you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do so and let me know in the comments. Does this sound overwhelming to you? Do you think it would be a fun thing to do? Or how are you encouraged? Like, hopefully this will be something that can give you an idea of things to do with your kiddos, and just be helpful in that you too can organize fun things like this with your kids. You totally can. Okay, I think that's all for now. I will see y'all next time. Be blessed.